2 years ago, I started my journey at Caltech as a postdoctoral fellow. I was specializing in viruses specifically infecting specific cell types in the brain. In other words, I was exploring to be a virus hunter. Over the intervening months, however, I started to wonder where this mission would lead me in the arrow of life. One evening, I remember very vividly, it was a crimson lit, crisp dusk evening, and I decided to take a walk down the hallway of Caltech from Millikan Library all the way down to the Turtle Pond. And I remember vividly coming across a poster. It was a poster with a white background with a very dark Indian guru. And below it had this very provocative line. It said, "Those who come to LA come searching for something." And below it was a big arrow pointing, meeting at 7 p.m. at Ramo Auditorium. I decided, okay, let me go follow this arrow and see where this leads me. So I walked through the Twilight Caltech campus, and at the end of this campus, I saw the bright light coming from Ramo Hall. And I thought this would be the place where I find my Indian guru leading me to the arrow through the arrow of life and pointing in the direction I should be going in. So I decided to go down into the Ramo Auditorium, and it was anything but a dark Indian guru. Instead, it was a very white man, but a very white, charismatic man who was preaching the magic of storytelling. As a scientist, I thought, wow, this goes against everything that I've been trained for. There is no magic or storytelling. We're told to relay the facts as A goes to B goes to C, and that's it. However, in the intervening months, I was about to learn not just the power of storytelling, but the true wonders it can achieve. And that science itself is not all powerful. So let me tell you what happens in the intervening months. As I'm wondering what to do, I decide to post my CV on Caltech Handshake. And essentially a couple of months go by and I get no responses. But one day, all of a sudden, I get a call from Roche Pharmaceuticals, which is one of the largest companies in the world, making medicines, vaccines, and diagnostic tests. And they said, "We're interested in you." And I said, "Wow, that's great." So they decided to set me up for an interview. And I went back home immediately because I wasn't so familiar with the business world, but I did know that I had a passion to make the science that I was doing now at Caltech and connect it to people. So I immediately looked it up, and I saw what really captivated me was this line that they had. It says, "Doing now what patients need next." And I thought maybe this is my connecting dots and this is where my arrow should be leading me. So I got the interview, of course, and the interview asked me immediately, one of the first lines was, "What is your story?" And I said, "Listen, I want to connect the dots and do what patients want to do next." Of course, it was a bit to capture their attention, but they said it's a good enough story and that they like my passion and they like the direction that I wanted to go in. And of course, I landed the job. And what I did immediately afterwards was, after saying yes to them, is I decided to pack up and move on north to the Bay Area. In my hurry, I managed to pack most things, sell everything on the Caltech website, my furniture, most of my clothes, and other things that were of practical value, except for this one object that I'd found in the corner of my apartment. It was a bronze horse with these funny looking bronze wings, and it had a big hump on its back. And I thought, well, I know that this was from my trip in Mongolia where I had gotten this, and this was the mythical Windhorse. And it would be tragic just to throw it away in the garbage can, wouldn't it? So I decided to try and sell it. I put it on the Caltech, again, website where I'd sold all my furniture, but I got no responses for this bronze horse, so to say. And I posted again on Amazon, no response. And finally, I decided to go on eBay because eBay, one of the taglines is anything with the story sells. So I thought, well, maybe this might be the potential test here to see what a story might do. But before I do that, I was just very lazy. I just posted literally as the description was what I told you. Bronze horse with wings, sale 99 cents. A couple of weeks went by, and then immediately I got a a email from eBay saying that there have been no responses on your, or no bids on your posting, and that we're going to delist it. I thought, oh no, well, maybe I should try the story. And it goes against, goes with their company policies to post some description of background of the object and give it a story. So immediately I put that this is the mythical Windhorse that drove the Mongolians to their relationship with Buddhism, and it's basically linking karma with the arrow of time and guiding man's soul forward. Within 5 minutes, I saw a bid. Then 10 minutes, I saw another bid that took it up from 99 cents to about $5. Then I took it to 10, 20, 30, 40. Where could this go? And finally, it reached $120. Pretty powerful, wouldn't you say? Sold. So there starts my next journey now at Roche. I ended up a job the first day. I started off initially as a scientist, but I was quickly promoted pretty fast, and I reached a point where I had to connect the dots between the business decision makers and the scientists, and I had to relay them and connect these dots. But it was a pretty linear flow stream. It was basically going from the business team where the money came and just telling the scientists, listen, this is where the money is dictating and this is what we should do. However, all of that was about to change from one of the biggest crises that we have seen in our time, which was the COVID-19 crisis. It turned everything upside down. But it was an exciting time too, because as a scientist and as a virus hunter, this is the big catch, right? So the thing that I had to do is I had to now all of a sudden listen to the scientists and tell them, guys, what can we do out here? And relate it back to the business team. So all of a sudden, it wasn't just a linear arrow going one way, but the arrow was going back and forth. And I was extremely confident in the beginning. I was able to pitch to the business team that, listen, we had developed as a company before the Tamiflu drug, as all you guys might recall, that there was a major medicine against the SARS crisis that had happened almost 20 years back. And we were able to tackle it as a company where we took all 100,000 employees and in 150 companies and put our full force behind it. So I was extremely confident that we could do it again. However, in the coming months, we realized that this is a whole nother beast, and that is most likely not going to happen. I had a very tough decision to make because we had pooled almost all our resources now towards the COVID-19 crisis. And here's the decision that I have to come to, and to live up to our motto of doing now what patients need next. So here's some numbers that I wanted to throw at you. Cancer kills 17 million people. Diabetes kills 4 million people. And the roadside kills around 1.3 million. And finally, the coronavirus has killed 400,000 people so far. Now, if you were me, what would you do next? Thank you.